Hi there. This video is going to go over the differences between payroll methods in STX Desktop versus STX Cloud. So in STX Desktop, you would have gone to Setup, Finance, Payroll Methods, and you could create some pretty crazy payroll methods. We had many options, a lot of different options in here. We recreated STX Cloud to have the most common options. Two notes I will make: if you are trying to do secondary pay, or if you wanted to do a secondary hourly wage, that would be something you would want to consider taking a look at the separate videos that we've created for those. So we're just going to go over the basics in this one. So that's where those are set up in desktop. So in STX Cloud, you're going to go to the navigation menu. You're going to click Setup, Setup Workers, and set up compensation methods. Now, if any of your methods have a scale, you would need to identify those first. So how scales work is, this is, let's say, a level 1 scale, and you would say, okay, between $0 and $500 in services, I'll pay 40% commission. But maybe between 500 and 1,000, I'll pay 42% commission, and between 1,000 and 1,500, I'll pay 44, and up to 2,000, I'll pay 46. And then if you do more than $2,000 in service sales, I'll do a 50% commission. So to get the high number, you just put in a few nines here, 50%. And then you can do this zero or step. This is very similar to desktop. So zero, if I choose zero, what it will do is, if let's say I do $2,000 in service sales, or let's say $1,900 in service sales, it'll pay me 46% commission. If I do it step-based, it's going to pay me 40% commission on the first 500, 42% on the next 500, 44% on the following 500, 46 on the next 500, and then anything over 2,000, it'll pay 50% commission. So you can choose how you want that to work. And then once you've created your scales, you go to set up compensation methods. So in here, I'll go ahead and hit new. So if you're just doing an hourly one, it's pretty identical. So you're going to start with hourly wage, multiply by number of hours worked. So let's see here, hours worked. Click save. It's pretty simple. Call that hourly A. If you're going to do, let's say, service commission, so you would say, just like STX Desktop, and you could follow your desktop plan when you go to reset these up. You can go to Setup, Finance's Payroll Method, and let's say I'm going to do this service retail commission one. You could follow it along. So I'll do that in an example here. So, lost my screen on the page. All right, so first we're going to do gross service, and then multiply by percent is 40. So gross service, and then I'm going to do multiply by, and then percent is 40. So you can see how these are similar. So then the next two steps are start with gross retail and multiply by 10%. So start with gross retail, multiply by percent is 10. And then it tells me that we should add the result of step 2. So I just do that, add step, result of step 2. So these are going to be very similar looking. So it's kind of hard to position this where it's not in the way. But you can see these are pretty identical in how they're set up, if not identical. And I can call this service commission. Okay, so that would be all I'd have to do. You will want to try out a sample calculation, make sure this is going to get you where you want it to go. Let's say you also wanted to deduct service fees here. So if it says to do that, you could do that. You could say subtract cost of service fee, You can incorporate that, click save. If you wanted to do your scale, like we mentioned, you know what, let me cancel this. I'm going to create a new one. So you could say, okay, start with gross service, multiply by, and then you would select your scale. So the scales are listed down here. So I can select my service scale. And of course I want to update my sample calculation, and it will tell me, you know, that's how we want to do that. So the scales are just located down here at the bottom once you've created them. And those are all the basic ones that we have. To assign a compensation method, you go to Setup Workers, Worker Detail, click on the worker, go to the Other tab, and you select their compensation method here. And then also, if it's hourly, you'll need to put their hourly wage in here. You don't actually plug the hourly wage into there. You just put in here what their hourly wage is. And then if they get paid a salary, you put in what their yearly salary is. And then the system will divide it based on your the date range that you pull. Okie doke. And then always don't forget, press save. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.